title of my story is The Parting of the Red Sea, for ages 10 to 12 years old. Was there a time when you were anxious or worried about something but still trusted God? Like when you answered the pace test, or staying in front of a crowd, or maybe when you ride a roller coaster thinking you could fall? These instances will really cause us to worry. Why not I tell you a story about the time when Moses parted the Red Sea because he trusted God and removed his worries? Well, this story begins when Moses and Aaron led the people out of Egypt. After that instance, Pharaoh's officials found out that the people had fled. They instantly changed their minds about them and said, "What have we done? We have let the Israelites depart and defiled our services." The Pharaoh quickly had to try to prepare and took his best men with him, alongside with his ferocious army. He even took 600 of the finest chariots he can find in Egypt, including all the other chariots which were led by officers. While that is happening, let's go back to the Israelites. The stride of the Israelites left them exhausted. For 30 days they marched until they reached the seaside of the Red Sea, where they set up their tents. Then, one dead night, someone woke up and was completely alarmed when he saw a huge army was coming towards them. When everyone woke up, they took a closer look to know who the head of the army was. It was Pharaoh. The Israelites knew they were trapped and started panicking. The sea on their left and Pharaoh's army on their right. The feeling of fear and terror hit them, knowing that they'll definitely be dead. The people then complained to Moses. "Was it because there were no ears in Egypt that you brought us to the desert to die? Didn't we told you in Egypt to leave us alone and let us serve the Egyptians? It would have been better for us to serve them than to die in this desert." Moses knew they were scared, but he said, "Do not be afraid. You must stand firm and you will see the Lord's deliverance. The Egyptians you see today you will never see again." Then the Lord spoke to Moses. "Tell the Israelites to move on and raise your shepherd's staff over the sea. You will see a dry path open up so that you and all the Israelites can pass through." After hearing what God had said, Moses slowly approached the water with courage. Waves were touching his feet, and the strong wind was coming from the east. The staff that he held over the sea began to shake. Little by little, the shake became stronger, so strong that he had to hold the staff with both hands. As he was struggling, a sudden powerful force began to appear. Moses even thought he was standing in the middle of a huge sandstorm. Moses slowly looked at his feet. He was standing on a dry ground. The loud raging sea began to split into two, and a large dry path began to come into sight. Both sides of the water began to build up until it was high as a mountain. Right after the people saw, the sea was divided. The look on their faces was filled with great shock as they watched Moses part the sea. Moses looked over the people and fearlessly said, "Go and just honor God and cross the sea quickly." Even though the Israelites were afraid, they gradually removed their fears and crossed the sea. At first, only a few people went across, but eventually, more and more followed until everyone was walking between the divided waters. Moses told the people to walk faster when he saw Pharaoh's army was getting closer. When the last few Israelites reached the other side and Pharaoh's army was still in between the walls of water, God spoke to Moses again, saying, "Stretch out your hand again, so that the water will flow back to the Egyptians." Moses obeyed and raised his staff over the sea. The force holding the sea began to disappear, making the water slide down and splash down. The dry ground that was there before was now gone. The Israelites saw everything that was happening, and maybe some of them had to cover their heads with their arms because of the crashing waters brought back to land. After the sea lay flat, they uncovered their heads and realized that no Egyptians made it across. Another miracle, showing how God rescued his people from the Egyptians. When the Israelites saw what the mighty hands of the Lord can do, they started putting their trust in God and feared Him. This story helped us remember that we must completely put our trust in God